friends, welcome to a random Thursday as a creative director in tech. I have a really busy week this week because it's my last full week before I head away on a big road trip around Iceland. It's gonna be super fun, but it means that there is a lot that I need to do for work before I go away to make sure that my team is set up for success while I'm out, make sure that my projects that I've committed to working on this month are on track and that I'm gonna be able to complete them, because when I come back from my road trip, it's only gonna be like 3 days of work, I think, to close out the month. So there's a lot to do. I started my day by going to get a coffee and buying some beans because I'd run out. For me, Thursday equals meeting day. I have a lot of one-on-ones, our design team meeting, our all-team meeting where the whole company is on a call together. And I actually have an extra meeting in my calendar today because we're currently hiring for a React developer contractor. Is that the right way to say that? Someone who can be an external partner to help us work on our marketing site. We don't have headcount to bring someone onto the team full-time at the moment, but as I mentioned in the video that I made about outsourcing, we really like to lean on external partners to like supplement the work we can do in-house. And yeah, today I have an interview, which is fun. These are just like the initial phone screen type interview where it's like, okay, we've seen your application and like it looks promising, looks like you got the experience we're looking for. Now we want to get on a call with you, ask you a few questions. So I don't have to know anything like super technical at this stage, which is good. I did used to develop for the ConvertKit marketing site. Maybe some people don't know that, but yeah, when I joined the team, I was both the designer and the developer of the site for a couple of years. Thankfully now we have brought Corey onto the team, who is much more talented than me when it comes to development, and he's taken our site to like, I was gonna say a whole new level, I'm gonna say several new levels. So yeah, now it's built with React, so we're looking for a React developer specifically. And when we get further into the interview process and we're doing like the more technical interviews, we'll have folks from the engineering team come in and support Corey in conducting those so that, yeah, I'm not the one making those calls. And speaking of developers, there's something that I need every developer or like person who codes as part of their work. So even if you're like me and you're more of like a designer who codes sometimes, I need all of you to go fill out the annual Stack Overflow developer survey. I partnered with them last year on the 2022 survey to get the word out about the survey itself and then also the results, and I'm really happy to say they're partnering with me again. I love participating in research like this personally because I get so much value from the results. I love learning about the industry, about what other people are paid, about how they learn, what types of roles they're in. Stack Overflow has always been my like support system when I was learning to code, because if there's any problem that I was facing, someone had probably asked about it on Stack Overflow and I could like find the answers in the forum. And so I think they're the perfect company to be conducting this research. They've always been like a support for developers. So please, if you code as part of your work, check the link in the description, also written on screen right now. Go fill out the survey and contribute to it. I know we're all gonna learn a lot from the results, and I'm particularly interested to see any like salary data and how that's changed with all of the like changes that have been happening in tech recently. The survey is open from May 8th to May 19th. So if it's within those dates and you're watching this, like go fill it out right now and then come back for the rest of the video. All right, and speaking of developers and hiring, another thing that I need to do today is work on mocking up like a small piece of a design we can use as part of a homework assignment later in the hiring process when we know like who we want to move forward and who we want to see more from. That is definitely something that I can help with, even if I might not be useful in the like technical interviews and like assessing the homework. I can at least help prepare the assignment. So I'm going to do my morning general review of Slack, and I'm scrolling down now and there's so many like channels lit up with messages that I need to read through. Hashtag manager life. That's so lame, I can't believe that I said that. All right, I have a Figma file already. I have a Google Drive folder ready with some exports. This is a look at what it is. So it's like 2 blocks side by side, and then it's a switcher thing. What is this called? Tabs? Tab carousel? I don't know. Anyway, I've mocked up the desktop and the mobile version. We're not expecting people to get to the mobile, but like some people prefer to start the build that way, so just wanted to provide it. I'm gonna also add in instructions in here. There will be like a README in the GitHub repository that we send, but yeah, I just wanna make sure that it's all easily accessible for folks. What I think is really important about a homework assignment is this isn't something that we're actually gonna use. This is like a section of last year's State of the Creator Economy report. So we're not gonna like take the code they create and use it for anything. And I think that's really important. And we let them know that it's not something that we're gonna use because yeah, I think that understandably candidates are concerned about that. If I can use this video to give a little tip to people out there who are applying for jobs, whether it's a dev job, design job, whatever, read the application and the like instructions for applying and do follow them. We have some like essential questions in job applications for roles at ConvertKit or contract roles, and they are important. They are a factor in whether you get moved on to the next round or not. So when people just like don't bother to answer the questions, and they also haven't answered them within their cover letter or, you know, elsewhere in their application, I'm like, why did you spend the time applying when we told you that these questions and the answers to them were important? I follow Rosie, who has an Instagram account called Badass Careers. I think that's the name of it. And she posts such great advice for applying for jobs. And something I saw her post about recently is going for quality over quantity when you're applying for jobs. So don't just like spray your resume over every single thing that has, I don't know, one word similar to a job title you've been in the past, but instead be intentional about which roles you apply for so that you have time to answer the questions and like make your application really strong. And I think that is fantastic advice. Now I am just pulling up Workable, which is what we use for like our hiring stuff, to go read a little bit more in depth the resume of the person that I'm going to be interviewing today. Alright, I had the first couple of calls of the day. I just remembered that I am meant to be the like host of our design team meeting today. Oops. The host is supposed to like share the agenda beforehand and encourage people to add to it. So let me do that quickly, 15 minutes before the meeting starts. Okay, done. I do need to go in and add some of my own. But first I want to show you something cool. So just yesterday I shared with Corey the design for a new addition that I wanted to add to our top navigation. And then this morning he shared this with me, which is this new drop down in action in a build of our site, which is really exciting. These are the pages, like different use cases for ConvertKit that we wanted to add in, because people come to our site and they don't realize perhaps that you can run a paid newsletter on ConvertKit, you can sell digital products on ConvertKit, even though like we literally say that on this page as well. It's so surprising how many people say they haven't heard of our commerce product. I'm like, it's right there. Anyway, I'm trying to make it a bit more obvious. To make this a faster build, I like tried to mimic our resources drop downs. So see, we've got this stuff at the side and then these things here where the logos grow. So yeah, I think it turned out well and I'm super excited to get this live. I don't know if you've seen my videos about our work on our design system at ConvertKit, but we spent last year totally refactoring our marketing site. It's now built on React so that we can do cool things like easily reuse components to get builds up quickly and not have to build stuff from scratch or be copying and pasting code and then we change it in one place and not the other, and you know what I mean. But yeah, I covered that in my design system series. Go check out episode 2 to hear all about the build, and that was what I filmed just after we shipped it late last year. Okay, I have 10 minutes before our design team meeting, and so I'm gonna go and think of some agenda items that I want to talk to the rest of the team about. Well, despite my lack of preparation, that design team meeting went pretty well. We always start with a show and tell, and this time the show and tell ended up being our whole 45-minute meeting. And so that was great because we didn't really have other agenda items anyway. I always love getting to see what the product designer is working on. It's fun to get to give feedback on, you know, new features or changes to features when they're in the early stages. And it's always very useful to get their feedback on stuff that we're doing over on the brand side. If you haven't watched it yet, then just last week I uploaded the first episode of season 4 of my podcast, Inside Marketing Design, and it is an in-depth look at brand and marketing design at ConvertKit, and we talk about our collaboration with the product designers and also show the agenda that we use for our meetings, the FigJam agenda in that video. So go click on a card that's on that site, I believe, and go watch it, or linked in the description. Those episodes get uploaded to the Inside Marketing Design channel, so you might not see them in your feed unless you're subscribed, so please subscribe. Oh my gosh, my eyes! I've been staring at my screen entirely too much today. But meetings are over for the day. I think I can wrap up work now. Our team meeting today, the little clip you saw, was an engineering demo day. So this is at the end of every cycle, the engineering team shares with us the work that they've been doing, and we get a preview of like the new features that are going to be shipping to our product and all that. So it's super fun. I actually led a growth team demo day call the other week inspired by the engineering team, because we thought it's really cool to get to see all the different squads share their work, and for all the different teams within growth, we want to show off what we've been working on so that the rest of the company like builds a better understanding of the work we do. I'm going to show you one more thing before I end my day of something else I worked on. So we have this dashboard where we get to see like what links people are clicking on around our site, and there's a few like changes that I want to be made to it so I can have like different filters and things like that. So I've just documented them here in this FigJam. Then I've also put together this one down here, which is an ask for insights into what people are clicking in our navigation, because we can kind of see it in this chart here, but yeah, I just think having a separate dashboard or a separate tab would be useful. So if you really want to, you can use FigJam for anything, including making a data request. I am going to share this now with my boss, our CRO, because I'm going to ask for his help in getting this prioritized with the data team. And a big reason I'm making this ask is because of that change that I showed you earlier. They want to ship to our navigation, showing the use cases. I want to be able to better understand, like, are people using this? What are they clicking on? Like, what's most interesting to them? And just, yeah, collating it all in one dashboard will be useful. I hope that this vlog today gave you some good insights into the, like, non-design stuff, or honestly, like, not even very super creative work that I do as part of my job. I love it all. I love my job because it's a balance. I think if all of my job was just like mapping out data requests and meetings, things like that, I would not feel creatively fulfilled. But I do get to work on a balance of both. It's just that today was very like meeting, strategy, documentation heavy. Please remember, if you haven't done it yet, to go fill out the Stack Overflow 2023 developer survey. It's linked right at the top of the description. You can't miss it. Go fill it out. It'll all be presented in aggregate at the end, and it's something we're all going to get a ton of value from. I'm looking forward to seeing the results later on this year. I hope you have a good week, and if you haven't seen it already, go over here and watch that episode of Inside Marketing Design about the brand studio team at ConvertKit.